A man who motivates students competing in cross country does the same for workers looking to unionize too. And Derek Brower profiled Andrew Tripp in this week's 7 Days. Derek, some have called Tripp one of the best organizers in the country. Why?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Andrew has been doing this for a long time. He got into organizing in the 90s when he was in graduate school. He dropped out of graduate school to do this. And he's worked on a number of important campaigns in Vermont and around the country in more than 20 states involving over 100,000 people by his count. But most recently, he was a key behind-the-scenes advisor on a nationwide campaign last year to organize minor league pro baseball players who for decades have been paid very little and had really tough working conditions in the minor leagues as they kind of toil away in their quest to get to the big leagues. And this had been written off as kind of an impossible feat that these minor league players across over 100 clubs could ever organize and form a union. But last year, they were able to do exactly that.
Isn't he, though, facing headwinds generally? The proportion of unionized workers has been declining in the U.S. for the last 50 years.
Yeah, that's right, Darren. I mean, it is the United States is a very tough place for workers who want to unionize, and that's for a lot of reasons, from the way our economy is structured to the laws in this country around that. So it's these broader forces beyond what any one organizer can really influence. But one of the reasons I wanted to profile Andrew, I think, is because this actual work, the kind of nuts and bolts work of building power amongst working class people is difficult, and it's a real skill, and there aren't a lot of people in this country who do it and who do it over a long period of time. This is one of those lines of work where a lot of people do burn out. It can be pretty grueling emotionally and physically as well. So yeah, I mean, I think he has been, I think that underscores how difficult this work really is.
How does he apply what he does as an organizer to his job as a coach?
Yeah, I think it's in many ways kind of become a natural fit for him. He started coaching about a decade ago as he was trying to take a little bit of a step back from his organizing work. And he's really been quite successful at it at U32. I mean, their teams have won many state championships. They became, the boys cross country team became the second boys team to ever win the New England Regional Championships a couple of years ago. So they've had success. And I think there are a couple things that I understand seem to be contributing to that. I mean, in one sense, endurance sports like running are really boil down to convincing yourself or believing that you can do something you never thought you could do and that you can't do when you start. That's a lot like convincing workers, I think, that they can in fact accomplish more by working together. And that working together piece is the other big component. These athletes at U32 really view themselves as part of a team. And that is a key motivational factor for them in pushing themselves individually to accomplish a team goal, which I think is another thing that he's been able to carry over from his organizing work.
Your story's out in 7 days. Derek Brower, thank you. Be well.
Thanks, Darren.